this is what your customers are saying in the back of their head. They're not gonna tell you. That's why you have me. That's why you got me. Because they ain't gonna tell you. All they gonna do is go talk to their homegirl, their homeboy, and they gonna tell them. But you need to know so that you know how to better navigate these business relationships. Hey, Cornell Jermaine here, back with another episode. Thank you so much for joining me again on the show. Listen, today we're gonna talk about what did I do now?
What do I do now?
7 complaints you didn't know your customers had. So I'm gonna go through these complaints, give you my thoughts on them, and hopefully these are things that you will consider when it comes to doing business with your customers. The first complaint is waiting on hold. I know you guys have had the experience, and when you call a company to whether get clarity on what it is that you purchased, discuss your shipment and why it's late, whatever the case may be, having people on hold is something that people will complain about but never really say anything to you. But they're gonna definitely gripe about it. There's a company that I just called them recently because I had to book a flight, but Delta. I was thinking of different things that companies or businesses can do to help mitigate this type of issue. And I think having a service like what Delta uses where you call and it tells you how long the wait is, right? And then it says you can opt in for a callback and we'll call you back. You won't lose your place in line and someone will be right with you, etc., etc. And you enter your number, hang up the phone, and 10, 15, 20 minutes, however long it is, they call you back. I think that's such a good option and a good alternative to people just sitting on hold and waiting, because people don't want to waste their time just listening. Well, I don't care how good the music is on your service. They don't want to just hold the phone and wait for you. And most times when they get somebody, they can't even help them with the issue, or they got to transfer them to here or transfer them there. And now they done wasted 20 minutes waiting on you. Now they got to wait another few minutes for somebody else. And it just turns into this just debacle, this issue that you don't want to have to deal with. I think if you can just say, hey, let me check on that, I'll call you right back, boom. Or if you have the option of a service, get the callback number so that you can have the system automatically call them back when their turn comes in line. The next complaint is unavailable products. When it comes to clients and what they want it now, and that's it. When they're ready to spend their money, they want to spend it, and they want to spend it now. They don't want no, oh, it's on back order, oh, we ain't got it, ooh, whatever. All that does is position them to now look somewhere else. Most times you think they're gonna just wait on you, but that's not what they're gonna do. They're gonna go and try to find somebody else who has the same or quality or a better product like yours. They don't wanna wait. It's just, yes, it's inconvenient, yes, it's selfish, yes, it's whatever, but it is what it is. They don't want to have to wait. And if they do have to wait, they want the waiting to be worth it. So this is what you have to do in those instances, especially if you're a service provider or maybe there's a product. I remember recently I had a client who put an order in for a product, and this is somebody that has been ordering from me and buying from me for many years. And she recently moved out of state, but she's still calling and getting her products when she needs them. So she called, and normally I can have the product shipped and out to her within the few days. Well, this particular time things were on back order. I didn't have the inventory, etc., etc. So I called her. I said, hey, things are on back order, but listen, as soon as I get them in, I'm gonna process this order and get it to you right away. And she was grateful just for the fact that I kept her aware and kept her abreast to what was going on with her order. It wasn't no just, oh, we're not, we ain't got it yet, and she just weeks and weeks go by and you don't hear anything. That's how you keep the customer satisfied in that waiting process of a product or order or whatever it is to come in. Let them know what's going on. Keep tabs regularly, so if you tell them it's gonna be a week and a half has gone by, you should have touched bases again. So you touch bases within that first week, you told them it'll be about 7 days, and now it's going into the 14th day, and you haven't talked to them since the first 7 days, you owe them another phone call, another email, or whatever to make sure that they're aware of what's going on with their product. And you don't typically want to have to give them too many phone calls. You know what I mean? So if the order is, or the product is not in, and you're having to call them 2, 3, 4, 5 times, now you're gonna upset them and they're gonna question your professionalism and your capability when it comes to doing business. You get what I'm saying? And it may have nothing to do with you. You can't control the manufacturers, you can't control the orders, and etc., etc. It may have absolutely nothing to do with you, but there's a way to engage them so that they can remain confident in who you are as a business owner, confident in your brand and your product and your service, and still wait for the product to get in and for you to get it to them. There's a way to engage, but just a rule of thumb, make sure you keep tabs and let them know what's going on with their order. The next one is making customers repeat their problem. I had an issue with this not long ago where I called a company that I did business with, and I had an issue that was legitimate, and the initial customer service representative could not help me. I went through the whole story with them and told them all the details, and only for them to say, oh, I can't do anything about it, or I'll have to send you to this department or this person, etc., etc. No problem. But what happened is, when they sent me to the next person, that next person answered the phone like they knew nothing about what was going on. And I said, I just talked to somebody for 10 minutes. I said, they didn't make any notation in the account? You don't have any notes about what I'm complaining about and what I'm dissatisfied with? They had no notes or anything. So I had to go through the whole conversation all over again with the second person. But then that second person wasn't the right person either. So obviously this customer rep that supposedly had transferred me to a higher authority or somebody in the escalation department only transferred me to another representative like him who could only do so much and who had to say the same thing that he did. Oh, I can't handle this. I have to escalate this to the next department who can help you further. I said, that's what the last one just told me. So you can imagine by this time, I'm like boiling because I'm like, listen, I done been on the phone now 30 minutes. Talk to 2 people and neither one of y'all can help me. So I said, okay, go ahead and transfer me. So she transferred me to the third person who was the person that could help me. But what happened? I had to repeat the story a third time. What? I just told the other nappy head little girl. No, I'm playing. I'm sorry. I can't say that. I just told the other little girl, just like I told the other little boy, and now you telling me I gotta tell you? Didn't nobody make note in my account so that you would know what's going on? Heated. Keep your customers from having to repeat their dissatisfaction, their issues with you over and over and over again. Get a help desk software, get some type of data entry points or something where you can make notation in the account, in whatever you have to do, so that this customer does not have to keep expressing dissatisfaction or whatever it is that they're calling to complain about. Because all you're making them do is relive the situation over and over again. And the more they have to relive it, the more upset they're going to become. So you want them to go through that process one time. Tell the next person, if you're not the one that can help them, tell the next one, hey, this is what's going on. This is what's happening. This is what he would like to do. I'm going to transfer him over to you. Boom. Now the person that can help them already knows what's happening. They can begin the conversation in a completely different way because they don't have to try to get and wrap their mind around what's going on. They already know what's going on. Now they can ask direct questions to help bring out more details so that they can offer a good solution. Boom, done. So don't keep your clients repeating their issues when it comes to your business. Please don't. The fourth complaint that you didn't know your customers had was uninterested service reps. And this is so pervasive when it comes to our climate of business right now. And when I tell you, I've seen it, I mean, you go into the store. I ain't the only one. Go into the grocery store, the fruit market, the local convenience store, the department store, wherever. Go into the store and just buy a pack of chewing gum, whatever the case may be. And look at how disengaged and uninterested some of those customer representatives are. Most of them will look you dead in your face, won't even say hello, let alone smile. Next, when they do wait on you, they won't even give you instructions on what's going on. I mean, literally, I was at the fruit market and I had this young girl scanning my groceries and everything, and I'm not really watching the thing, I'm just watching her as she scanned, and then I look back at her, she's done scanning all of the fruit and vegetables, and she's just standing there staring at me. And she never opened her mouth to say, oh, your total is $16.72. Nothing. Mind you, no smile, no excitement, no energy, just a stone cold just looking. So when I look up at her and I said, oh, you finished? And she didn't say anything, she just looking. And she turned the thing around to me, never opened her mouth to say how much it was. When I finished doing the transaction, she never opened her mouth to say, thank you, come again, thank you, have a good day, nothing. So not only was she uninterested, she was unengaged, she was totally a turnoff when it comes to doing business with a service provider. I'm like, I don't ever want you to wait on me, and all she was doing was scanning some apples and oranges. Just imagine if she was at the front desk of your business selling your products. You know, just imagine if she was behind the chair doing your haircut. You would not want to sit in that chair ever again, because you're like, what's wrong with her? Now granted, maybe it was a bad day, but guess what? In business, nobody cares. I said this a long time ago, and I'll say it again. understand, customers care nothing about you. Nothing. Let that sink in. They care nothing about you. They care about how you make them feel and what you can do for them, period. What can you do for them, be it your service or product, and how are you making them feel in the process? That's it. How your day was, how you fought with your boo on the way to work, how the kids getting on your nerves, they care nothing. Now, granted, people are gracious, and if you engage with them and they find out that you're having a bad day and something is going on, and they can tell maybe you're not as chipper, if they're a regular, that you're not as chipper as you usually are, you know what I mean? They might, pick up that something's wrong, and guess what? They'll be more gracious and say, okay, honey, you'll be all right. Have a good day. I hope everything goes well, blah, 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 whatever. Now, that don't mean you have to share your business, but sometimes if you're working with customers on a regular basis, they'll be able to pick it up that you're not yourself. But if you're just like that all across the board, uninterested, unengaged, guess what? They're not gonna wanna do business with you. And whether it's because that's just your personality or because something's going on in your life, it's really inconsequential. It don't matter. When they come to share their money and to receive a product and transaction with you, they're expecting for you to at least, you ain't gotta talk them up a blue streak, but at least smile, at least be welcoming, at least express the common pleasantries. Hello, thank you, have a good day. Something. So these are things that your customers are not gonna complain about, but guess what? When they leave that store, they're like, oh, I don't want her to wait on me no more. So that's number 4, uninterested service representatives. Number 5, poor product or service. That is just maybe your product is not doing what it used to do. Maybe your service is not doing what it used to do. And this is where you implement what I have been pushing for you all for quite a while now, and that is surveys. That's an easy fix. To learn if your product or service is still doing what it's supposed to do in the marketplace, get a survey. Give a survey to all your customers and let them tell you what's going on and what their experience is like. And from there, you can gauge whether you need to adjust, pivot, or whatever. Number 6, no first call resolution. When it comes to resolving an issue, your client, and we talked about this in number 3, where it was making customers repeat their problem, but it's also true in this one, and it's a little different because no first call resolution is where you call and complain about something, and there's this constant back and forth, a bunch of emails, almost as if you're interrogating me, almost as if my feelings are not valid, almost as if I gotta prove to you that I'm dissatisfied. So now I gotta talk to a bunch of people and explain it to this one and hear them defend the business and the client or the service and hear them defend the product, and then now there's a bunch of emails. No, first call resolution is where you resolve the problem right there. And what are you doing? You're reassuring them immediately. Not of your business, not of your product, not of your service. You're reassuring them of the importance that they have in your life as a customer. This happened to me just recently where a company that I've been working with for many years now accidentally did some things that cost me a little bit more money than it was supposed to. You get what I'm saying? And because of their mistake, I of course called upset, but I was kind of confident that they would handle it, but I wanted to get it done and I wanted to make sure I did it in a timely manner. So I called them, and the representative that I spoke with told me to contact another person, and they gave me the email address and the name and everything. I emailed this individual. I didn't know his role in the company at all. All I knew is that he was the person that the representative said that could handle this issue. I emailed this person. The email that I got back from him, not only was it exceptional in the fact that he reassured me that this was their fault and apologized over and over again, and reassured me that he would make sure that this was fixed. He will make sure that this was fixed and oversee this project so that I can be certain that this thing that happened to me would never happen again. How many of you know when I got that email, I was like, okay, this is the kind of company I want to do business with. He reassured me and there was no issue. And I followed that up with another email, and that was the email because, even though he reassured me that they would fix it and make sure he was gonna oversee things and all that kind of stuff, I felt like there still should have been some compensation because now this has cost me more time than it should. You get what I'm saying? And guess what? That next email I got from him, resolved. I got you. We're gonna give you back the last 2 months' payments that you made to us. Boom. I'm happy. If I have to do business with this company for another year, I would, because of this experience that I just had. And guess what? It was a mistake of theirs. So that happens. Your business might make a mistake. There might be a mishap. Something may happen where your personnel, your people mess up with the customer. But if you don't come back and reassure them and fix it immediately, and sometimes that may mean going into your pocket and giving them some compensation for their troubles. If you don't do that immediately, you're gonna leave a bad taste in that customer's mouth. And guess what? All the money that you did make with them will be no more. But if you fix it, not only will you keep a customer, but you'll keep a customer and you'll keep a good name in the marketplace. Because now, if somebody asks me, I would highly recommend them because I've had conflict resolution with them. And that's where you really begin to know if you really can do business with a brand, is when conflict arises. Because when everything's going well and I love the product and y'all got the product available and everything is smooth and well and all that's good, it's easy to do business. But it's when the conflict arises which tells you whether or not you can really do business, because the true character or the true essence of that business and its owners or operators is going to come to life. It's going to come to life based on how they resolve issues when they arise. So keep that in mind. The last one, and number 7 of the complaints you didn't know your customers had, is lack of follow-up. Lack of follow-up. This is where client relations managers come into play. I remember a client relations manager I was working with on a project, and very on top of things, very engaging, very connected when they were signing me up for the project in the program. But after I got into the program, I heard nothing, absolutely nothing. And one day what happened was, I think the card on file was, expired or something, and the payment didn't go through because this is an automatic payment. Every month it comes out. And the email was nice, friendly, professional, no issues with that, but it was, hey, such and such, we need to update your card or we're gonna have to terminate services. And I get it, and that is the process, but I was a little taken by that because I was looking at this person. I said, okay, now your title is the client relations manager. And this is the email I wrote her, and I was very blunt and somewhat abrasive with it because I said, I have been in this program for more than 6 months now. I said, when I was getting pitched and when you were telling me about all the benefits and features, you were on my head, emailing, calling, conference calls, all that. After I got into the program, I've been in it more than 6 months now, and I have not heard from you at all. I didn't get a 30-day, 60-day, 90-day follow-up. How are things going? Can I help? Is there anything you need from me? Nothing. But you're going to email me 6 months later when the card on file just so happens to expire and tell me that if I don't update it within a certain amount of days, you're going to terminate services?
What?
I said, how about you do your job as the client relations manager and let accounts receivable and payable email me about payments?
Obama out.
Anyway, y'all see how that email went. So she immediately responded with apologies. Not only did she apologize, but she gave me some credits towards the tuition and things that I needed. She felt bad because I called her out on her stuff because she knew. As a client relations manager, she never followed up. And this is what the complaint is. She never followed up to see how things were going. What do you need? Can I be of any assistance? And it's a quick email, a quick phone call if necessary. But don't jump into your client's face when you haven't talked to them all this time talking about how you're going to terminate their services just because their credit card on file has expired. That happens. Credit cards expire. They need to be updated. But what about my service? What about my experience with you as a brand? With you as a business? Does it need to be updated? Maybe. Maybe a follow-up would be nice. I'm not telling you to call me every day, email me every day, every few months, especially when I'm spending a significant amount of money with your business. This is what your customers are saying in the back of their head. They're not gonna tell you. That's why you have me. That's why you got me. Because they ain't gonna tell you. All they gonna do is go talk to their homegirl, their homeboy, and they gonna tell them. But you need to know so that you know how to better navigate these business relationships. Okay? Well, I hope this helps. I'm gonna go through it one more time. 7 complaints you didn't know your customers had. 1, waiting on hold. Number 2, unavailable product. Number 3, and these are issues that they're disgruntled about, making customers repeat their problem. That's an issue for them. Number 4, uninterested service representatives. This is a complaint. Number 5, poor product or service. Number 6, no first call resolution. And the final complaint, lack of follow-up. And that's whether it's a good experience or a bad one. So these are 7 complaints that you didn't know your customers had. Take these complaints, consider them, see how you can buffer some of these situations in your business in order to make your customer experience even better. I'm Cornell Jermaine. I'm hoping this video has helped you. If it has, like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And by all means, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss a beat on this channel. And I'll be right here, back here, next week, same time, to do it all over again. Until then, take care.